Hi guys, so today we are going to do topic 16 lesson 6, I want to say. I forgot. But before we start today's lesson, I'm going to pull out our little friend, the protractor. Okay, so last week if you did your math, I gave you guys some videos to watch on how to use a protractor. Okay, I know a lot of you probably said, what? This is confusing, this is hard. And yes, it is hard, especially if you don't have a protractor right there with you to practice. Okay, a protractor is something that you learn through practice. So you have to hold one, you have to look at one, you have to work with it when you're finding the measure of angle. So just watching videos isn't really going to help you. Now, that's not me saying tell your parents to run out and get you a protractor, okay? They don't have to. Now, if you really, really want one to practice and your parents are okay with it, you can go to Target or Walmart or whatever office store and buy a protractor. But I'm not telling you to go do that, okay? Okay, all right. So this is the protractor. Now, the really annoying thing about protractors is that they're not all the same. Some protractors are really tiny. Some protractors look like this. And then some protractors, the numbers are different. So if you practice using one protractor and then you get another one, it's going to take you a little while to figure out what's going on, okay? So I'm going to get really close and I'm going to show you the one that I have, okay? So you have a hole right here, okay? And then you have two sets of numbers. So this right here is just used as a ruler. Okay, you use it as a ruler, which we already know how to do. This right here you also use as a ruler. Centimeters, then inches. Okay, now you might see some numbers over here. Okay, those are your angle measures. So those are your degrees. Okay, not inches, not feet, not centimeters, not yards, degrees. Right? Remember, angles are measured in degrees. Okay, so you have two sets of numbers, okay? If you can see, there's a line. Actually, you might be able to see it better like this. There you go. Okay, so let's go back. See that little hole right there that you can't really see anymore? Okay, so you have this black line, the black solid line that goes all around to the other side, okay? Then we have two sets of numbers. On this side over here, we start at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and then if we look at this side and we look at the outside numbers, now 10 is on this side. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 87, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, what are these little tick marks for? So these little tick marks represent ones. So here is my little hole. If I come over here, this black line right here, this one represents 0. And then this represents 10. So that means that these little marks right here represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Or if you're looking at the outside numbers, this is 160. Wait, yeah, this is 160, this outside number. So then this is 161, 162, 163, 164, 65, 170. Okay? And then if you're looking on this side, remember this is a 0. This line represents a 0 or a 180. So if we're looking at the outside numbers, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or we're looking at this inside number, this is 180, this is 170. So then each tick mark is 171, 72, 73, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, 179, 180. Okay? Now, how come we have two sets of numbers, you might ask? Well, that's because I don't know if you've ever noticed when you're looking at angles, they open up two different ways. So one angle can open up this way, and another angle can open up this way. So that's why there's numbers on the inside and on the outside. On this side right here, the inside number starts with 10, and over here, the inside number starts with 170. Okay, then you flip it. Out here, the outside number starts with 10, and the outside number is 170. Okay, now if you're going to use the inside numbers on this side, this is a 0. Okay, but if you're using the outside numbers on this side, this right here is a 180. This side, if you're going to look at the outside numbers, this is a 0, but if you're going to look at the inside numbers, this is a 180. Now, it might make more sense if you watch me measure an angle. Okay, so here's my angle. Okay, my angle has a name, it has 3 points, and here's my vertex where the rays meet, the endpoints of the rays meet, and then my angle is JET. Okay, so this is how it's named. Notice that the middle letter is the vertex, okay, where the 2 rays meet. Okay, so I need to find the measure of angle JET. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be really hard. Actually, I'm going to come down here, and you guys are going to have to just try your best. Okay? All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. All right. So this vertex, the point where they meet, always has to go right under that little hole that I was talking about in the protractor. So you remember that little hole? Okay, that little hole is always going to go over the vertex. Okay, now if you see these black lines that spread out from the hole, okay, these little black lines, they have to line up with this angle down here. So I'm going to make sure that my black line lines up with my blue line, okay? Now, remember I said that the angles open up this way and that way? Well, this angle opens up this way, okay? So I know that I'm going to use the inside numbers. Okay, let's get closer. Okay. I can already see that this angle is acute. It's smaller than 90 degrees. So I know that I can't use 170, 160, 150, 140 because that's bigger than 90 degrees. So I know that I have to use my inside numbers. So my blue line is lined up with this black line right here. Remember I said it represents 0. Okay, so now I'm going to measure my angle. So wherever the other line crosses through, wherever it passes through, that's your angle measure. So right here, I have this line that is measured at 0, and I can see that this angle measures 40 degrees. 40 degrees. Okay. Now, what if I wanted to draw my own angle? Okay. So if I wanted to draw my own angle, I'm going to put the protractor down, and I'm going to make my vertex in that little hole. Okay. Okay. So there's my vertex, if you can see it. Okay, my little hole. I'm going to put my vertex back over there. Okay. Now, this time I want my angle to open up this way. So now I'm going to create an angle. So I have to make sure that I mark the 0 point over here. And I'm going to use the outside numbers because my angle's opening up this way now. Okay, so now instead of using the inside numbers, I'm going to use the outside numbers. This time I want to make an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is bigger than 90 degrees. So if I'm looking at my outside numbers, I have to go find a point that is bigger than 90 degrees. So here's the 90. If I wanted to make a 90-degree angle, I would mark right there. Okay, but I don't want to make a 90-degree angle. I want to make an obtuse angle. So let's make 115 degrees. So here's 100 degrees. Here's 110 degrees. I need to find 115. The next one is 120. So I'm going to use the little tick mark. So here's 110. So then 111, 112, 113, 114, 115. Okay, so I'm going to make a dark mark right there. All right. So here is my 115 angles. So I have 3 points. I have my vertex. I have the other point that I made at the 0 mark. Then I made the point that I made at the 115 mark. So all you have to do now is you have to use your straight edge to line it up. So I'm going to line up my vertex, my little circle, with my 0. And then I'm going to line up my vertex with my other point. Now I'm going to trace it. So I know that this angle measures 100 and, I don't know if that's backwards, yeah, 115 degrees. And I'm going to label it B, E, G. So my angle is named B, E, G. I know it's not very easy watching me do it there, but it's the best that I can do since I'm not with you guys right now, okay? So that's the basis of how you use a protractor. I'm sure when you guys are in 5th grade, or maybe, yeah, when you guys are in 5th grade, you guys will get more practice with it. But for right now, that's the best I can do for you guys, okay? That's the protractor part. Now let's get started with today's lesson. All right, so let me pull out your review. All right, so the last time we were able to find out that a whole circle has 360 degrees. Okay, remember that angles come from circles. Okay, we have the vertex, which is the point where the 2 rays meet, and then we have the rays that move out. So we have our vertex, and then any 2 points that we pull out will create an angle. So this whole circle has 360 degrees. Okay. Then if we cut the circle in half, okay, this straight line right here is 180 degrees. So remember, any straight line is a straight angle. All straight angles have a degree of 180. Okay, so if this right here is 180, what can I say about this? So if this is 180, so this angle right here is 180. What can I say about this angle right here? It is also 180 because it's a straight angle. It's just underneath. So how many 180 degrees angles does a circle have? 2, right? So if you cut a circle in half, that's 2 180-degree angles. Then we move down here, okay? So remember, if I cut 1/4 out of my circle, it's going to give me a square angle, which is a right angle that measures 90 degrees, okay? So 1 fourth of a circle is equal to 90 degrees. That's a right angle. Now, how many 90-degree angles are there in a circle? Hopefully you can come up with the answer before I finish drawing this. So there are 4 90-degree angles in a circle, okay? So that means that this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, and this is 90 degrees, okay? So one thing we can do is 360 degrees, because that's how many degrees a circle has, divided by 4. So 360 degrees divided into 4 equal parts is equal to 90. Right? 90 degrees. Okay. Then we need to know this, okay? Angles have 3 parts. Okay, there are 3 parts that make up an angle. We have 2 rays, so 1, 2, and then the endpoint where they meet, where they both meet, is known as the vertex. Okay, so what are the 3 parts to an angle? Yep, 1 ray, 2 rays, and then we have the vertex, which is the point where they meet. Okay, so that's how many parts are in an angle. Then every angle has a name. Okay, angles have 3 points, and that's how we name our angles. Okay, so here are rays, and here's my vertex. Remember, you can name your angle whatever you want, okay? So this one, I just went with basic A, B, C. That's what this angle is called. Now, I said it earlier, but notice how when I label my angle like this, when I write it out, so I don't even have to see this. When I see this, I can read that as angle ABC. So this little thing that looks like an L or an upside down 7, that means angle. Angle ABC. Notice that the middle letter is the vertex. Remember that, it's very important. Okay? So, on to our lesson. So, we know that a straight angle has 180 degrees all the time. Okay? And then we know that a whole circle has 4 right angles. Each right angle is equal to 90 degrees. Okay? So, let's open this. Perfecto. All right. So here is your practice. Okay. I have 2 questions. What is the measure of angle FGJ if angle JGH measures 22 degrees? That's my first question. My second question, what is the measure of angle KGF if angle EGK measures 68 degrees? Okay, I know, super confusing, right? Okay, well, you get a picture for this. So I'm going to start with a straight angle, okay, and I'm going to label it. This is point E, and this is point H. Okay. Do we know how many degrees are here right now? We should. A straight angle measures 180 degrees, right? Okay, let's keep drawing the rest of it. Then right here, then this is point F, and this is point G. Okay. So I have an angle EGH, that angle is equal to 180 degrees. But then I have a new angle, okay? So this angle right here is equal to 90 degrees. What about this side? From here to here to here. If this is 90 degrees, this has to be 90 degrees. How do we know? Well, let's do the math down here. I have a straight angle that is equal to 180 degrees. I know that this side is 90 degrees, so I'm going to subtract 90 degrees. 180 minus 90 is equal to 90. So it's kind of like part whole. If this whole is 180 and this part is 90, then this missing part has to be 90. Okay. All right. And then we have two more angles that we have to draw in. Then we're going to take this, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make another angle, and I'm going to label this J. And then over here I'm going to make another angle, and I'm going to label that K. I'm going to erase this. All right. So let's go with what I remember. Okay, this straight angle is equal to 180 degrees. Then I put this angle in, which was 90 degrees, and then I put this angle in, which was 90 degrees. And we can still see the square corners, right? So FGH and FGE are 90 degrees. But then I cut them up. Okay, I cut each 90-degree angle up into two more angles. So now this is where I need to take what I already knew, that this is 180 degrees, this is 90 degrees, and this is 90 degrees, and I'm going to use that knowledge to answer this question. What is the measure of angle FGJ if JGH measures 22 degrees? Okay. So I know from this problem that I need to find this angle, and I know that they give me the measure to this angle. So JGH measures 22. So I need to find that angle in here. Angle JGH. So remember, the middle letter G is the vertex. That's really important. So I'm going to look for JGH. Well, here's J, here's G, and then here's H. So I know that this angle right here is equal to 22 degrees. So I'm going to highlight that with a different color, and I'm going to write 22 degrees in there. Okay, so this angle right here is part of this angle right here. This whole angle is equal to 90 degrees. So if this whole is 90 degrees and this part is 22 degrees, and this problem is asking me to find FGJ, whoopsie, I highlighted the wrong one. Whoopsie. This is what you get when you write backwards. Okay, now we're good. So rewind. I know that JGH is 22 degrees. I know that this whole thing is 90 degrees. So my whole is 90 degrees and part of it is 22 degrees. So how do I find FGJ? I need to find FGJ. So I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to put a question mark. What do you do? What operation do you need? I said that I knew my whole was 90 degrees. I know one of my parts is 22 degrees. How do I find the other part? I hope one of you said part whole. So I have my whole is 90 degrees and I know that part of it is 22. So I'm going to subtract 22 from 90 and I am going to get 68 degrees. So I know that angle FGJ is equal to 68 degrees. So I'm going to write my answer here. Angle FGJ is equal to 68 degrees. There you go. Okay, so I did 90 minus 22 and I got 68 degrees. So I was able to say angle FGJ is equal to 68 degrees. Now let's look at this one. What is the measure of KGF if angle EGK measures 68 degrees? All right, so let's find what we need to figure out. I need to figure out the measure of this angle, and this problem tells me that EGK is equal to 68 degrees. So EGK, remember the middle letter is your vertex. So EGK is equal to 68 degrees. EGK is equal to 68 degrees. Now I use what I already knew. Okay. This whole thing, FGE, is equal to 90 degrees. That's my whole, 90 degrees. And this part, KG, messed up again. Don't write backwards. This is 68 degrees. Sheesh. Okay. So they told us that. No, I was right. I know a lot of you guys are saying, "Hi, Miss Espy." I miss you guys saying that. Okay. So, EGK. EGK is 68 degrees. I need to figure out my missing part. So my whole is 90 degrees and my part is 68. I need to find the missing part. So I take my whole, 90 degrees, and I subtract my part and I get to my missing part. So 90 minus 68 is equal to 22 degrees. Okay. Now, for your quick check, it's one of those quick checks that's kind of hard. So I did it for you, but I changed the problems up. Okay, so you'll be able to figure it out by watching this video and then going to doing the quick checks. Okay? So your first two questions are going to have to do with a problem that looks like this. Okay, so your question, erased it. Okay. All right, so here is your question. Which equation will help find DBC? Okay, so which equation will help find angle DBC? So remember, the middle letter is your vertex. So we need to find D, B, C. So I'm going to highlight that. Hopefully I don't mess up. So I need to find DBC. I don't know that. Okay. But the problem tells me that angle ABC is equal to 110 degrees and angle ABD is equal to 70 degrees. So I'm going to label that here. So I need to find ABC and label it 110. So by looking here, B is my vertex, that's my middle letter. So A, B, C. So I'm going to label it 110 degrees. Okay, so A, B, C. So that means that this angle right here is equal to 110 degrees. It's an obtuse. It's bigger than 90 degrees. And I know that angle ABD is equal to 70 degrees. So angle ABD. Angle ABD is equal to 70 degrees. So I have my whole A, B, C. So this whole angle right here is equal to 110. Okay. Then I know one of my parts, A, B, D is equal to 70 degrees. Now I need to find D, B, C. So I'm going to circle it so it's easier to see. This entire angle is 110 degrees. Okay, A, B, C. Then this part right here, A, B, D, is 70 degrees. So I know that my whole is 110, and I know that one of my parts is 70. How do I find this missing part? That's all I'm doing for you. You can figure out the rest. Okay. Now, the next question asks, what two angles can you add to find the measure of BDE? Okay, so I'm going to erase this blue part so that we don't get confused. Okay, so it wants me to figure out what two angles I need to add to find angle BDE. So I'm going to find angle BDE first. So here's BDE. So I'm going to highlight that. BDE. Okay, there I did it in blue. BDE. So this is the angle right here that I need to find. Okay, so what two angles can I add to find BDE? Remember, this is the angle right here. I guess I shouldn't circle this part right here. Let me make that circle better. There you go. Okay. So, what two angles? Remember, the middle letter is your vertex. So some of you might say, oh, okay, yeah, I see this angle right here, this angle, and this angle right here. Those are the two that I need to add. But be careful, because I can already see some of you going, oh, D, E, A, and then A, B, C. Remember, the middle letter has to be the angle point, the vertex. So the letter is D. So you can say angle ADE. So we'll write angle, my blue marker's running out. Angle ADE is one of your answers. So ADE, and then the other one can be ADB. Okay, as long as your middle letter is the vertex. Okay. There's that. And there's this one. Okay. So this is one of those ones where you take what you know and go from there. Okay. So Charlie divides a straight angle into 4 equal parts. What is the measure of each smaller angle? I'm going to highlight a very important part. Charlie divides a straight angle into 4 equal parts. So here's my straight angle. It's already labeled L and M. Okay. What do I know about straight angles? Equal 180 degrees, right? Yes. And then I know that Charlie divided this straight angle into 4 equal parts. So you don't have to draw a picture, but it helps, okay? Don't be lazy. So, let's see what I'm doing. And then J, B, K. There you go. So I have a straight angle and I divided it into 4 equal parts. So that means in number words, I took 180, I took the straight angle, and I divided it into 4 equal parts. So what's the math for this? Figure it out. I'm not going to give you the answer. You can do it. 180 divided into 4 equal parts. And last one. Last 2, actually, I lied. All right. Max divides a right angle into 3 equal parts. What is the measure of each of the small angles? Okay. So I had already drawn the right angle for you. Okay. I know that a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. Max divides the right angle into 3 equal parts. So, doink, doink. So now I have 1, 2, 3. So I took the 90 degrees and I divided it into 3 equal parts. I need to figure out how much each angle measures. What's the math that you need to do? Your hole was 90 degrees and you divided it into 3 equal parts. Figure it out. Last one. A circle is divided into 8 equal parts. What is the measure of each angle? Okay, what do we know about circles and their measurements? They equal 360 degrees. Okay. I know that he cut it into 8 equal parts. So I'm going to cut my circle into 8 equal parts. Okay, so I have 360 degrees as my hole, and I cut that into 8 equal parts. I divided it into 8 equal parts. What do you do? Have fun. Bye.